Yo, what's good, YouTube? Crow here, aka Scoot, back with the UBC United Battle Championship Season 4, week number 11, meaning this game, and then week 12 will be the end of the season. And then we're guaranteed playoffs because we already have 8 wins, and only a few teams do. Yeah, 3 teams have 8 wins. We are 8-2 with a plus 16 differential, putting us at the number 2 spot in the league right now, closely followed by Professor Chip and his Bristol Bulu, and led by Greg and his Los Angeles Clefable. We're guaranteed playoffs since we have 8 wins. That's more than what other people have and what other teams can potentially get. And our differential is a lot higher than the others too. So that being said, I think we're guaranteed playoffs already, unless we lose 6-0 this match and lose 6-0 next match, and then we're like 8-4 with minus 10 minus no 4+ differential. Yeah, then things could get tricky if some other teams win out with bigger differentials. But I don't see us getting 6-0. It's just not likely. So like I mean, it's possible, but it's definitely not likely. So yeah, I think we're guaranteed playoffs at this position, and we're taking on Tone and his Maine Red Clawitzers. And his team consists of Clefable, Laudius, Diggersby, Gengar, Chestnut, Metagross, Drapion, Seismitoad, Electivire, Alolan Persian, and Megalopony, with his 3 Z-move potentials being Diggersby, Gengar, and Chestnut. Now we have Vic-Tini, Zapdos, Gyarados, Mamoswine, Cobalion, Shaman, Ditto, Scrafty, Golurk, Swellow, and Mega Gardevoir, with our Z-move users being Zapdos, Gyarados, and Shamanos. Shaman. Anyways, when I was looking at his team, his biggest threats to my team were things like Diggersby, Gengar, Drapion, Persian. Alolan Persian was going to be annoying, but of course Clefable, Laudius, and Megalopony are always pretty annoying. Not annoying, but threatening, difficult, things like that. So this match, what I'm okay, since I do have playoffs pretty much clinched, pretty much now it could change, but I'm 8-2 at a plus 16 differential, so I think we're pretty clinched with the season for now, unless bad things happen. But hopefully bad things don't happen and we keep our position. But right now I'm fighting for the number 1 or number 2 seed. So basically I need to win my last 2 games regardless, so I can get that first round bye. Greg and Chip, they're also fighting for a first round bye. Chip had his week 11 match already, and he did win. So he's 8-3. And Greg hasn't had his match yet, so he's still sitting at 8-2, and I'm 8-2. So we all have 8 wins, and I can potentially grab 9 here, and Greg could potentially grab 9 in his match, and we'd both be sitting at 9-2. So I would at least get, if I win out, I could set at 10-2 and at least have the number 2 position, number 2 seed, which all that really means is I would actually have a bye anyway. So I'm fine with 1 or 2, but being the number 1 seed is always cool. So I would like to do that if possible. That being said, I do want to win my last 2 games, and I did prep heavily, even though Tone is 3-7 with a -9 differential, and his playoff hopes are gone. So he did bring memes, but I'm a little bit prepared for memes as well as a serious team. That being said, you can see on screen he brings Megalopony, Laudius, Electivire, Drapion, and Metagross, and that bitch Clefable. Anyways, we bring Vic-Tini, Choice Scarf set, U-Turn, V-Create, Flare Blitz, and Quick Attack. And this seems weird, Choice Scarf and Quick Attack, but what this allows me to do is if if it comes down to Mega Lopunny and Vic-Tini, and we're both, low HP, his quick attack's doing like 19 to 23% to me or something because of my HP investment, and my quick attack's doing like 17 to 18 or 17 to 19% to him. So if we're both really low, I could potentially lock myself into quick attack to knock him out and take the win if it's down to the 1-1. Otherwise, I U-turn out a lot. U-turn does a lot to an offensive Lottie, does a lot to everything basically. I mean, it does chip damage, not a lot. V-Create does a lot to everything. Even his resist, which he only has 1, so I'm expecting his Lottie to be defensive for a Vic-Tini check. Maybe the Akaberry on the Metagross. But I do run the V-Create, which is a nuke. 2-hit KOs everything on his team minus the Lottie. I do have Flare Blitz, so late game I don't have to lock myself into V-Create, lose defense, special defense, and speed, drops. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather Flare Blitz and take a little recoil as opposed to losing speed and defense. And then quick attack, like I said, I'm adamant because all I wanted to outspeed was Choice Scarf for Diggersby. So I set it to 281 speed. I got a lot of HP investment and a little bit of defense investment, just so I can take on fake outs, and quick attack's a little bit better from Mega Lopunny, as well as like Bullet Punch from Metagross. And the HP investment also helps me against Clefable that wants to be like offensive, or because I have watched him run an offensive Clefable this season, so I can take Moonblast no prob. Next up's gonna be Zapdos, and it's a leftover set. Very defensive, outspeeds the Metagross, but very defensive. Volt Switch, Roost, Defog, and Toxic. So Toxic his best checks in this match are Electivire and Lottie, which can both be toxic, and Roost upon. And I brought like a defensive set so I could take on the Mega Lopunny a little bit better, and I brought Defog so I can get rid of rocks and toxic spikes and stuff like that. That's something, if my opponent has the ability to set up toxic spikes, I'm definitely bringing Defog Zapdos, because I don't want my team to be whittled down by the toxic damage. So there's that. I do have quite a bit of HP investment on Zapdos as well, because I didn't need that much speed EVs to outspeed the Metagross. That being said, my next mon is actually a Wall Breaker, the Life Orb Mamoswine. But I am Jolly Nature because I need to outspeed the Diggersby, so I'm not adamant, unfortunately. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Icicle Crash, and Ice Shard. This is the only, just dual stabs, all I needed, and the ability to set up rocks. Now, this isn't a lead because he does have the Mega Lopunny, so I think one of my leads is either going to be Zapdos or Gyarados, since he did bring the Mega Lopunny. Most likely Zapdos, so I can Volt Switch out and see like what's his initial switch in and stuff like that. That being said, Earthquake and Icicle Crash do a lot to his entire team. Like, he has no switch ins to Mamoswine. If you look at his team that he brought, Earthquake knocks out 3 mons in 1 hit. Icicle Crash knocks out Lottie in 1 hit. Earthquake, if he switches in Clefable, 2 Earthquakes should knock it out unless it's super defensive. And Mega Lopunny can't switch in and takes a lot from Ice Shard. So there's that. Do have a little bit of defense investment so I can take a fake out and quick attack a little bit better if it comes down to it. But hopefully it doesn't. Next up is a pretty solid win condition once Metagross is gone. Mega Gardevoir with the Trace ability. Of course, it changes to Pixelate upon it. Mega Evolution. I have Substitute, Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, and Psyshock. One of 2 setup mons I have, which I haven't revealed the other one yet. So, Sub Calm Mind, Mega Lottie puts in a lot of work. Like, it 6-0s once it wins once Metagross is gone. Which Vic-Tini, Mamoswine, Scrafty, and Gyarados, and Zapdos to an extent can deal with Metagross. So that being said, Mega Gardevoir is my win con. I want to keep it healthy. I want to keep it in the back until it needs to come out. And yeah, I guess that's about it for Mega Gardevoir there. Just a solid win condition here. If I can set up a sub on something like, I can set up subs on like Latios switching out, or Latias switching out, Mega Lopunny switching out, special Electivire I can set up a sub on. I can set up a sub on a Clefable, offensive or defensive, physically or specially offensive. It doesn't matter. I can set up a sub. I can fire off a Hyper Voice to see how much damage it's going to do. I can actually set up Calm Minds too because he can't break my sub with a special set. And if Hyper Voice isn't doing more, then Psyshock will. And if Psyshock isn't doing more, then Hyper Voice will. So really, if he's Spadef, then Psyshock beats him. And if he's defensive, then Hyper Voice beats him. So there's that. Next up's going to be another setup mon. I have Scrafty, which is Intimidate. I have a dual Intimidate with Scrafty and Gyarados instead of any kind of Moxie Sweep and stuff. I do have the Bulk Up, Knockoff, Drain Punch, and Poison Jab with 56 EVs in HP, 228 EVs with Adamant Nature and Attack, 76 Defense EVs, 76 Special Defense EVs, and 72 EVs in Speed, so I can speed creep a Clefable that's, if it's a little bit speedy. I think Clefable sets at 157 speed, and I'm setting at 170, so he's got to have just a lot more speed investment than I do to outspeed me. Now what this allows me to do is I can intimidate things. Like I can intimidate the Drapion, I can intimidate the Electivire, the Mega Lopunny, swap into Gyarados, intimidate again, swap back into Scrafty, intimidate again, then start setting up bulk ups. I can, just a lot of things. Knockoff's just generally good against his team, besides Clefable, obviously. Which I do pack the Poison Jab for, and I pack the Drain Punch for the Mega Lopunny, and the Chople Berry for the Mega Lopunny, since it will outspeed me, and probably thinks it can knock me out. But I can bulk up, I can intimidate, bulk up as I eat my Chople Berry, and then after I intimidate him and get a bulk up off, then I do live the next high jump kick with my investment and can Drain Punch most of my HP back, if not all of my HP back, depending on how much HP Lopunny actually has left at that point. But yeah, this is just a nice mid-game breaker and potentially late-game sweeper, as my next mon is a speed control mon. So if I have all my speed controls with Gyarados, I have Thunder Wave on here. So if I have everything paralyzed that can be paralyzed, then Scrafty, after a couple bulk ups, can just win because it outspeeds everything. I do have Taunt, Resto Chesto set on Gyarados, Max Spadef with enough speed to outspeed Metagross. So I'm running Jolly, but got a lot like Max Spadef and a lot of HP investment. Taunt, Thunder Wave, Waterfall, and Rest. Like I said, Resto Chesto. Dual Intimidate, so I can just swap around my Intimidate users to make sure that whatever I need to do is like I can sacrifice both of my Intimidate users if need be to make sure that things like Vic-Tini, Mamoswine, and Mega Gardevoir can put in the most work it possibly can. I have Taunt on there for Clefable because I don't want it doing any kind of shenanigans. Also for basically everything minus the Electivire, I would probably Taunt and then Thunder Wave everything. And then Waterfall for just stab. He has no resist on his team besides the Latias, which, like I said, can be taunted, Thunder Waved. And like I said, I do have the Resto Chesto, so if I get low and I have a Thunder Wave off, and I get low HP, then I can rest, get all my HP back, and then wake up immediately with my Chesto Berry. That being said, I believe we can hop into the battle here. And first off, we're going to look at team preview here. He does have the Lopunny, so I thought that might be one of his leads. But again, he does bring a meme team, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect. I wish he didn't tell me he brought a meme team, but he definitely did bring a meme team, and he let me know. So that being said, we can hop into the battle here. I did let him know that I was playing, like I needed to win, because I do need to win. Anyways, let's hop to the battle here. I'm going to lead Zapdos, predicting a Mega Lopunny lead, but he actually leads Clefable. So this is okay with me. I can Volt Switch out. I can Toxic to see if he's Unaware or Magic Guard, see what he would actually be. He could be Unaware because I do have a lot of setup potential on my team, but don't want to Toxic just yet and him set up something. So I'm just going to hard Volt Switch straight out into my Gyarados to go for the go for the taunt and see what he wants to do. I don't mind being Thunderwave. I don't mind being Toxic if that's what he wants to go for in the first turn. I don't mind if he gets his rocks up right here. I just want to Volt Switch out and then taunt him so that he can't start setting up anything crazy. Because crazy ridiculous would be really bad. He does go for the Ice Punch, so already turn 1 revealed a meme with a physically offensive Clefable with the Ice Punch to take on my Zapdos. But I do intimidate him, and it's neutral to Gyarados, so it does hardly anything. But, I mean, it does 25%, so it's like probably Life Orb, Magic Guard. I do get a crit, which is unfortunate on him because it would have did like, I don't know, 35% or something, but it ends up doing almost 50%. So Clefable can't switch into anything now, besides like a knockoff from Scrafty. And then hopefully it's out speeding me, and then it can knock me out with a fairy type move if it has one. I don't know if Clefable gets a physical fairy type move or not. But yeah, I'm just going to go for the Thunder Wave here and Thunder Wave the Clefable. And then I was going to taunt it, but he brings in Latias, so it is Thunder Waved, and I'm going to hard switch into Scrafty, knowing I can take any one hit because of my bulk investment. And he was most likely to go for the Psychic, I do believe, because I do have the Mega Gardevoir in the back, so he's not, he shouldn't be prone to dropping Dracos. It wouldn't make sense. But yeah, now I have Scrafty in, and I can click Bulk Up, I can click Knock Off, but I'm actually going to click Bulk Up straight away. Turn 3, I'm setting up with my Scrafty because it's time. It's time. He goes into Scorpio, which is his Drapion, and now he's actually going to set up a Swords Dance as I set up another Bulk Up. And at this point, now that I have my HP and defense investment allows me to take on, I can not be 3-hit KO'd by Cross Poison. And I'm going to go for the knockoff here in case he wants to attack or set up another Swords Dance and potentially have the Scope Lens, which he does end up having the Scope Lens. So get rid of his item there. So now crits are less prone, I believe, but Cross Poison has a high critical hit ratio, and I'm going to knock him off here. I'm going to eat this Cross Poison. It does, I think, 37 max, and then I'm going to Drain Punch on the following turn. I'm Drain Punching on this turn, I mean, and then I'll get all my HP back and knock him out, unless he's really bulky. But as much as the knockoff did, being resisted, I think Drain Punch being neutral knocks him out at this point, since I am +2 attack. But he gets a critical hit, and Scrafty is now gone. So one of my win conditions, I guess it was more of a breaker since the team he brought. So very unfortunate there for me. Scrafty goes down. I did think it was game at that point, unless Clefable was extremely bulky, or I mean speedy, because at +2 I do knock it out with the Poison Jab unless it was unaware, and this thing drops to a Drain Punch, Metagross drops to a knockoff, Latias drops to a knockoff, Mega Lopunny can try to hit me with the high jump kick, but I would live because of my bulk ups and my Chople Berry, so I'd be able to knock it out with the Drain Punch. Electivire drops to a Drain Punch, or any combination of knockoff into Drain Punch. And yeah, so I thought that was game, but he does crit me, so I'm going to go into Vic-Tini, and I'm Adamant Choice Scarf, and V-Create does knock out 100%, judging by the knockoff damage. So I think my min roll was 79%, and he's at 63%. So I'm just going to come in here, fire off of a V-Create, and I'm going to knock him out. So now we're sitting at 5-5, and he brings Lopunny in here. So I'm guessing he thinks I'm going to switch out here, and I am going to switch out. I have to, actually. I'm going to go into Gyarados, I believe, and get the Intimidate off before he can do any kind of shenanigans. And he actually goes for the Substitute, predicting my switch, so good play, Tone. And now he goes for the Charm, so revealing another meme, and drops my attack as well as his attack being dropped. I am going to taunt him here so he can't set up like Cosmic Powers and Baton Pass out or anything like that. I'm going to hard switch into Zapdos since I was, basically I was intimidated. And I'm going to hard switch into Zapdos, take this on pretty well. I am physically defensive, and I can Volt Switch out and break his sub. and then I can go into, I think I can go into Vic-Tini. No, I go into Gyarados again. Okay, so that makes, I could have went to Vic-Tini and just clicked V-Create again, I guess, but I guess he had to switch in with this thing. I can go into Gyarados though and scare him out, fearing Thunder Wave, and he goes into his Lottie and takes the Waterfall. Hard switch into my Mega Gardevoirs. He goes for the Mist Ball, which I had no idea it dropped special attack, but I'm gonna predict him to want to switch out into his Metagross here. I'm gonna double out into my Vic-Tini, trying to catch the Metagross. But as you can see, he did not switch out, and he goes for the Shadow Ball. Gets a critical hit, which is unfortunate because now late game Flare Blitzes are a little more difficult to pull off since I have less HP. But I can U-turn into Mamoswine here and just drop an Icicle Crash. Since I'm assuming he would go for Shadow Ball again, I would eat it up. He does get fully paralyzed, which is unfortunate. And so far there's been a critical hit on the Clefable. There's been a critical hit on Scrafty. There's been a two full pairs on Latias. So pretty much Hack City so far. RNGesus, right? Now he brings in Electivire. So I'm like, okay, this thing's either speedy with Brick Breaker Cross Chop, or it's speedy with Flamethrower. But I am thick fat, so I can take on the Flamethrower, and I am a little defensive investment, so I can take a Brick Break or a Cross Chop. And I'm just going to click Earthquake here and get some damage off. He reveals that he is Shuka-Berry, and I still almost kill because Mamoswine's a fucking monster. He goes for the Cross Chop and misses. So again, RNGesus fucking up the game for us as always. For some reason here I Shard just in case it was some sort of speed tie. And I wanted to make sure that I could take him down. I was going to take Life Orb Recoil anyway. So like the worst thing that could have happened there would be if he switched into Metagross and sacked it off for some reason. But I didn't predict him to do that. So I just clicked Ice Shard, take out the Electivire there. And we're sitting pretty comfortably here. He brings in the Lopunny, and he's I guess sub was a nice play because if I broke his sub with Earthquake, then he could just follow up with a return since I would take a little Life Orb damage. I don't think he kills me at this range with frustration. I mean return, or he would definitely kill me with High Jump Kick. But I went for that Ice Shard, got a little chip damage before he goes for the sub. And now he's at 18%. And now I can just Ice Punch again as he reveals Focus Punch. And he's actually going to knock us out right there at this point. Didn't need Mamoswine anyway. Vic-Tini kind of cleans up. And I can just go into this bad boy. And I can click U-turn, predicting the Metagross to come in. And didn't want to take all that recoil. I guess I could click V-Create and just knock anything out, I suppose. But I can go into Gyarados here. I can Thunder Wave him, then I can taunt him, and the Yellow Magic coming through immediately. So unfortunate because I didn't want full pairs, I just wanted speed control, and he reveals to be specially offensive Metagross with Psychic, which is pretty interesting because I don't think he had a way to beat a Scrafty with this thing if it come down to it. I'm going to use Rest here and Wake Up immediately, get all my HP back. He gets full paired. I'm just going to click Waterfall here. I don't think I clicked Taunt again. Yeah, I just clicked Waterfall because I can like 3-hit KO him. He gets full paired again, so very unfortunate. And then he's going to get full paired once again. Very unfortunate again. I'm going to switch into Vic-Tini here just to get this bad boy some kills because, you know, Vic-Tini deserves skills. I did some math, and Vic-Tini is able to Flare Blitz the rest of his team, which Oko's the rest of his team. Mega Lopunny does not have Fake Out or Quick Attack. It is revealed Sub, Charm, Return, and Focus Punch. So Flare Blitz just wins at this point, and I will live with 1 HP left after all the recoil. That being said, we will get a 4-0 victory here, unless Clefable was Choice Scarfed or something. But even then, I'm Choice Scarf, so I still outspeed. And yeah, we're just going to pick up the win here. Nice 4-0 win. Bit unfortunate about all the RNG, like I told Tone. It makes the game less fun. My sets weren't too... I didn't bring any sets to get hacks like a scope lens, cross poison Drapions there for the critical hit hacks. But I guess in that sense, it is in his favor. So if he didn't get the crit, it would be been hacks on my part, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna come away with the 4-0 victory here. We're gonna move on to 9-2 with a +20 differential and riding this 7-game win streak into the last match of the season. Good game tone. Love the memes. I didn't really get to see your Lottie set besides Mist Ball, so that's pretty heat. Sugarberry Electivire with Cross Chop, pretty heat. Maybe not heat, but nice set. Especially offensive Metagross, pretty heat. Physically offensive Clefable, that is the meme dream, yo. And I really like the Drapion set and the Mega Lopunny set. It was pretty sweet, to be honest. Sub Focus Punch is nice. It's a lot of power. But yeah, we just come away with another victory here. And like I said, we're sitting at 9-2. So if Greg loses, he will be sitting at 8-3. Chip is sitting at 8-3, and we would take the number 1 seed for this week. And as long as we win week 12, we would continue to be the number 1 seed and get that first round bye. Of course, we are fine with the number 2 seed and a first round bye as well. But yeah, it's gonna be the end of week 11. Next up, we will be facing off against Adam, the commissioner of the league, aka the Bee's Knees, coach of the Kansas City Kakunas, which is pretty cool since he does like bee drill and Kakuna it's pretty cool. I like it. He has actually had his week 11 match, and I think he lost. I think he played Chip, and he's sitting at 7-4 now with a +16 differential. So this is a pretty important battle. I'd like to win and set at 10-2, because if we lose, we will be 9-3 with potentially 3 other 9-3 teams, and that could make me lose a first round bye, and I definitely don't want to do that. So I'm going to be bringing a solid squad against Adam, I do believe. I've built like an overview of my squad, but haven't really built my entire team yet. But yeah, that's gonna be it. We face Adam next. Again, good game tone. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment. Give me some feedback. I need it, guys. I need the feedback. I gotta know your thoughts. That's gonna be it though. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.